Welcome to Hypnosis Health Info. I'm Roger Moore, and with me today is Terry Gargas. Welcome, Terry. Thank you for being here. And Terry is a Slender for Life client who's here today to share with you his experience of letting go of excess weight, and most importantly to tell us about the health benefits that has occurred because of your weight loss. So Terry, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself. And I know you're a contractor. You actively build houses, and you came here last March? I believe it was March 6th was the first time that we met.
That's correct. It's
2011.
been almost a year.
Okay. And what was your weight then?
My weight was 253 pounds in my first session.
And how much weight did you lose?
In a period of 90 days, I went from a dangerously high 140 cholesterol count. I dropped 36 points on the cholesterol with a plant-based eating program, and I dropped 36 pounds all within 90 days.
Okay, great. And then you continued to lose weight after that?
Correct.
Okay, great. And so what did your doctors have to say about your drop in cholesterol?
Well, they sent me a letter from the Veterans Administration and told me it was dangerously high, that I needed to either go on Lipitor or some other cholesterol controlling medication or find a way to lose weight.
Okay.
And so that's how I met you.
All right, great. And how did you find out about me and about Slender for Life?
My son's a student athlete at the high school, and you had done some work with the team and
the lacrosse
knew the
team.
coach, the lacrosse team, and my son got the Orange Blossom video hypnotherapy that you do.
The MP3?
Right,
yeah.
And he brought that home, and I was able to actually listen to it, and he'd been given one of your cards, and so that's how about that time I'd gone to the doctor and gotten the bad news about my cholesterol, so I called.
Okay, great, excellent. And so what has changed? I know your cholesterol's come down. What else has changed with your health, with eating?
My whole family eats different now. My wife, you know, when I came home with your book and the MP3s and told her I was going to start doing things different, she'd seen me go on diets before where I'd lose 5 pounds and then I'd binge eat and I'd gain 6 and bring home a lot of junk food, and so she was skeptical. But after coming back and seeing you on a regular basis and starting to read the book and listen to the CDs, you know, she saw that there was a marked change within a couple of weeks. I started losing weight and I was eating different, so now the whole family eats different.
Okay, great. And so how are they eating differently? What's
we
different?
Eat a plant-based diet. We didn't buy that $1,000 worth of side of beef this year.
Okay.
And we passed on that last September. We used to buy one a year. My son doesn't eat the junk food. He asked me not to bring it home. And
okay,
so
excellent.
It's had a really good influence on my son and my wife, the plant-based diet.
And what about the snacks that you used to eat?
Not anymore. I don't think about them the same way.
What was it that you used to eat?
A lot of junk food, a lot of Cheetos, the whole Eatos family. I
okay.
ate them all, the Fritos, the Cheetos, the Tostitos, and you know, I would drive around a lot in my truck going to different jobs and meeting architects and suppliers, and so I was always had something, and you know, 6, 8 diet sodas a day, and which made me hungry, and candy and just all the junk food a teenager would eat, and you know, I'd eaten that way for 30, 35 years.
Okay, great. And what has changed now? What are you eating now? What are you hauling in your car now?
Plant-based stuff: apples, bananas, oranges. There's always a big bowl of fruit at my house. I don't buy the stuff that I used to bring home. So my grocery bill went from $1,000 to about $550 a month.
If I recall correctly, don't you also have a case of water in your car?
I do. I keep water, and I drink a lot of water. I can measure my water intake that way. I buy a case at Safeway, and usually, if I'm drinking 5 or 6 bottles a day, that's my target, a case will last me for 4 days, and I buy none.
Okay, great. And one of the things that I know you've shared with me on more than one occasion is about how friends respond to you and when they see the weight that you've lost and how great you're looking, how healthy you're looking. What are they saying?
Well, they're so used to seeing me. You know, I've had the same friends. I've been a part of this community for over 20 years, so the people have seen me overweight for so long that a lot of them are alarmed. Are you okay? Is the first thing they say.
Okay.
They've seen me, you know, 25, 30 pounds 40 pounds overweight for 20 years. And so when they saw me start to lose weight, the first thing they assumed is I was ill.
Okay.
So it was about legitimate concern, but, you know, some consternation. But there's been a few that have said, hey, you look really well, you know, what are you doing? And I just started talking about the plant-based diet that I'm eating.
Okay. And one of the things that we've talked before about is that it's not normal to be at a healthy weight.
Right. For me, what I've learned by coming here to Slender for Life is that it's more normal to be abnormal, to be overweight and not height-weight proportionate, and that's normal in our society. So if that's normal, I'd rather be abnormal. I weigh now what I did in high school. My pants are a size 34. My son just borrowed my jeans not long ago. His were all in the laundry. So I never thought that would happen. I went from a size 48 to a size 34.
And your son is a very, very healthy, very strong,
Oh, yeah.
physically active athlete.
Yeah, he's an athlete.
Okay, there's not an ounce of body fat on him. So.
188 pounds, and it's all lean muscle.
Yeah.
He's a really good athlete, and it's had a good influence on his eating behavior.
Okay. So how does it feel to be today? May I ask how old you are?
I will be 64 in 2 months.
Okay. So basically at age 64, how does it feel to be at the weight you were when you were in high school?
I never thought it was possible. I'm still getting used to the idea of it. It feels great. I have a lot more energy. My knees used to hurt every day because I'm up and down ladders. I have real physical type of work that I do. My back doesn't bother me to the extent that it did. So my weight-bearing joints, I'm not looking at knee replacements the way I once was. My cholesterol is down to a level that my doctors just can't believe. My cardiologist, he wanted to know more about Slender for Life because he hasn't seen these results.
Okay, excellent. And, you know, one of the things that I remember you telling me was that previously, when you had the weight, you just never dreamt. You didn't dare to dream. You were afraid to dream about being at this weight and being this healthy. And since you've gotten here, you've allowed yourself to start dreaming and planning for the future. What are your plans? What are your goals for the future?
Well, I'm actually in the process of writing a book entitled Reinventing Any Life, and I'm going to talk in there about how what I have done that I think can be replicated by other people. In some of my former training, I have a graduate degree in rehabilitation counseling, and I'm going to talk about vocational ways that people can reinvent themselves through education, but also I want to talk about my weight loss and how I think it's possible for anyone if they'll just follow the Slender for Life system that it's so simply laid out.
Okay, great. But what else are you dreaming about?
Well, I'm planning my 100th birthday.
All right.
You know, my wife's 15 years younger than I am, and she's excited that I want to be around a little longer. She's thinking, you know, in terms of what's possible. She's had some good results, and she's eating differently, and she works with the senior population, and she tells me frequently about people in their 80s and 90s that are height-weight proportionate, and that they're very active and vital into their 80s and 90s.
And
so
what are they eating?
Plant-based diets.
Okay.
They have gardens. They still drive cars. A lot of them have very rich social lives, and they're on the go. And it's exciting. So I want to join that population as I get older.
And there's something else that, at least to me, is important that I remember you talking about that you're now thinking about, and that was grandchildren.
That's right. You know, as my kids get older, I have a daughter who's becoming engaged now, and I'm thinking in terms of wanting to be with her kids and watch them grow up and be a dynamic part of that family. And
before you didn't
I didn't think it was going to be possible. It wasn't on the horizon for me.
Okay, wow. So Terry, is there anything else that you think is important for people to know from your experience with Slender for Life and the health benefits that you've achieved?
Yeah, I would say if you've tried a lot of binge diets, and they're out there, and different ones, you know, and I won't name them all, there's so many, and you know, don't give up hope, because Slender for Life has worked for me, and I'm just a regular guy. I don't have any special training in dietary management or health sciences, or I don't know much about food compared to the average person, but don't give up hope. There is help with Slender for Life if you'll just give yourself the chance and follow the simple program the way it's laid out, And you don't have to make changes and think about it a year at a time, just take it a day at a time.
Yeah.
And for me, it's about short-term gain versus the long-term pain. And you know, when I was eating the junk food, I was getting the thrill that I wanted for the short term, but then the long-term pain was the fat you eat is the fat you wear. And I was suffering physically because of it. My risk at stroke and heart attack was much higher. My cholesterol was dangerously high. And so for me, it's the short-term pain, which is saying, you know, I'm not going to do that, and you know, 10 seconds pass, I drink a bottle of water and it's gone.
So there's not much pain there?
No, it's the gain. It's the long-term gain is I feel better. I'm weighing what I did in high school. When I was 17, 18 years old, I was 205, 208 pounds. That's what I am today. And I feel as good today as I did back then,
wow,
40 years ago.
That's just amazing. Yeah, and you also shared with me that on your desk you have a copy of my book, Becoming Slender for Life. And why is that there?
To remind me that I need to go through and review it periodically, to remind me to do my self-hypnosis 1 minute, 5 times a day, to give me the reinforcements that I need. And I actually am using the self-hypnosis for things other than the diet. For example, reminding me to drink more water, reminding me to exercise, reminding me to work on my marriage, reminding me to work on my financial life and my work. And I'm not thinking about retiring in bad health anymore. Now I'm thinking about being dynamic and continuing to work into my 70s and 80s.
Wow, this is so exciting. And I can't wait for your book to come out. I'm anxious to read it.
Well, I want to talk about your work here, and I
you.
want people to be able to understand what is possible.
So folks, one of the things that I hope that you heard here is that, yeah, weight loss is important, but what's most important is the health benefits that Terry's achieved by losing the weight and going from the junk food, the processed foods, the fast foods to a plant-based way of eating. And the health his health has so dramatically improved that it's just been well worth his journey. So if you're interested in finding out more about how Terry has let go of the weight and improved his health and want to learn more about Slender for Life, give me a call at 206-903-1232 or send me an email, roger@hypnosishealthinfo.com. And if you're here in Bainbridge Island or in the Kitsap Peninsula, you can come to this office, or I have an office in the Medical Dental Building in downtown Seattle. Once a month I'm over in Forks. And if you're too far away, then give me a call, send me an email, and we can set up Skype and internet sessions to support you from wherever you're at. Terry, thank you so much for this, and I just wish you continued great health and success, and again, thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
I'm Roger Moore, and this is Hypnosis Health Info.